This is about the Syrian refugee Jamal. And yes, if you're watching this, if you're one of the people, look at the state of that one. This is a bit about the Syrian refugee Jamal who had his throat grabbed in the school up in Huddersfield. I now have it as absolute fact. I've seen images of the young girl that he was involved in beating up. This is Jamal, the innocent refugee that you people, or people out there, have raised £100,000 for. A young girl was beaten badly by Muslim girls. While those Muslim girls were beating her up, Jamal was involved in kicking, in biting her. She was bitten. She was black and blue. She had to be taken out of school and homeschooled. She had to leave that school, the same school. Her family have been to the Huddersfield Examiner with all of this. But guess what? They've refused to report it. They've refused to report it. So this young boy, this young English boy, that this young Jamal, now that we know he's not innocent and he violently attacks young English girls in his school, now we know that. And the family are terrified because after the young Muslim girls who jumped him, they were arrested for that, taken to court. After that, they jumped her and battered her again. They battered her again. So Jamal isn't that innocent. Jamal is the same age as the young English boy that grabbed him by the throat. Now, after beating up a girl in the school, after being part of a gang that attacked a girl in the school, you'd ask why he wasn't expelled, but he wasn't expelled. You'd ask why the whole this has made news and world attention, because he's Syrian and he's a refugee and an English kid hit him. Right? But then you'd ask what you would do, what I would have done as a 16-year-old English kid with this boy terrorising girls in my school. Now, this boy, Jamal, and according, because I've heard from the child in question, he threatened to stab him. He was giving it to him. So at lunchtime, he's gone and grabbed him by his throat. This Jamal isn't innocent. He beat a girl, black and blue. How come no one's telling this? How come the media, because I know now from the little girl's family, have been telling the media this? So why have the media not reported that? Why have none of them reported that? Why is this kid being portrayed as the ultimate victim in this whole entire country? Yeah, when with a little bit of investigating or a little bit of asking witnesses at the school, because I've had lots of the kids from the school messaging me yesterday, and I didn't. And do you know what? Even for who I am, I was a bit worried about commenting on it. Ain't that sad? I was a bit worried about commenting on it until I just spoke to the kid's mum and dad, the little girl's mum and dad, who showed me images of her black and bloody blue. That Jamal was involved in beating her. So, to the little kid, and I've just read reports, I've just read the screenshots and messages of people saying how they're going to stab and murder this little English boy that gripped him by the throat. Now you know the real story, or there was more to the story, or the fact that Jamal had been giving it to him, and this kid has stood up for himself on his lunch break. Even when you watch the video, I watched the video and I thought exactly the same with that little snippet of video. But that was before I spoke to other kids at school and before I saw images of a young girl who had to leave that school. She was taken out and homeschooled for months because of Jamal and the groups of Muslim girls. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that none of the media would have found this out in 10 minutes. I've been busy, yeah? Even today. I've literally just got onto this story, gone through my messages, and I'm inundated with messages saying this isn't the true story. No one's reporting the truth on this issue. One there, Lily. So, if you've seen that story, that young boy has been driven from his home. He's been targeted by the entire left-wing fascist left of this country. tracked down, found his address, posted online, threats to murder him, his mother's threats to rape her, home under constant attack because he stood up to a Syrian refugee that beat the shit out of an English kid and out of an English girl. That's what needs reporting. That young kid, how bad... I know people felt sorry for that Syrian kid, but bearing in mind this Syrian kid jumps and beats up girls in groups, and then a young English boy stands up to him, and the whole of England attacks him. The whole of England attacks the young English boy without finding out the facts of what happened, without finding out what Jamal could possibly be like, without finding out any of that. Everyone comes out in full attack against the kid. And that kid's now in hiding. And there's messages, I just read one of the messages of Muslims saying, we're going to be outside your school till we find you. If it takes a week, we're going to stab you, we're going to kill you. I've got all the messages. I'm hoping I can get an interview out of these other people. I've got all the screenshots. I've got all the images of the young girl who's been beaten up. I've got all the screenshots of the Muslims threatening to kill this child. Where's all the condemnation of them? Threatening to murder and beat him up. He grabbed someone by the throat and poured a little bit of water in. Waterboarding. The police, the media in this country are calling that waterboarding. Waterboarding. This much water poured on his head. Waterboarding. Because he's Syrian. Because he's a refugee. And because the young kid was white and English. That's why this has been blown fuck up. 10 minutes would have found this mother. 10 minutes, because I found her, of a young girl that was beaten by the same boy.